Good morning, how we all doing? This is where we left it. We're rated 732 on the old speed run. I don't want to do a review, I want to play another game. Do you want to play a game? Let's do it together. Now, let me get my excuses in. I've had 4 hours fucking sleep. Somebody set up a one-to-one coaching call with me this morning for 7 o'clock in the morning. It is a Sunday, by the way. Okay, so playing e4, e5. And her alarm didn't go off, but mine did. So I've woken up. Okay, normal opening. We're in Freddy Krueger territory. We could get ourselves an Italian, a Spanish, a Ponziani, a 3 knights. Okay, we're going into possibly the dubiousest sibling in the Freddy Krueger repertoire, which is the Winnower. The Winnower defense, it just ain't great. Probably going into 4 knights is better here. But you know, we're Krueger players, so there we go. Somebody suggested something the other day, and bug it if I can remember what it is. It's like an alternative name. I can't remember. It was in the comments. Anyway, I've got a cup of coffee. I'm going to be off coffee again after today. So he's not taken the pawn. He's not played d4. Now, anytime you get this precise configuration of thing, you've got to be careful about like takes, and basically capturing with the pawn. However, I'm thinking so there's none of that nonsense on right now. It's just something to be aware of, right? 2 knights and a bishop all in these 4 squares can fall foul of a pawn fork sometimes. Now we've got essentially 2 attackers on here, right? So we've got a couple of options. Now, currently it's defended 0 times, so I can't summon up 2 defenders in 1 move. I can summon up 1 with a discovered defense with d6 or d5, but that's not really going to be enough. Or I could ignore it. I could play like knight f6 and let him take, and then push and grab the center. Right, that's an idea. Or I could take. He'll take back with bishop or knight. I can go here. Or I can push on. Is another idea. Kind of closing down the position. And I think in the spirit of this speed run, we should play knight f6, don't you? Because we're going all aggressive, right? We're playing gambit lines. That's the point. Take the pawn. Right? And then d5, and then, hello, there's the threat of e4 hitting both of these guys in it. So I got back over, yeah, I just couldn't sleep last night. Could not sleep. 3 a.m. I think it was, before I actually got off to sleep. Okay, he's determined not to take the pawn. He's like, hell no. Now I take, there, it moves there. Okay, now we might be in business. Were we in business before? Maybe we were. Right, here's the problem. Bishop takes there. Bishop goes back there, and we've got a pawn fork. Right, and notice as well, this comes up a lot in the Krueger repertoire. Okay, this pawn push, especially when the bishop's still there on like c4, and the knight's there, and white kind of just assumes you can't play d5, and you can play d5 because it's defended by knight and queen. You'd be amazed how often this comes up, and people miss that at 1500. So now what's he do? He goes there, he gets taken by my bishop. He goes there, he gets taken by my pawn. He goes there, he gets taken by my rook. He goes there, whack, ouch, in it. Opponent is Mazzomauri, rated 769, from Italy. And now e4, and we look. What did I say? What did I say? Did I call it? No, I didn't call it. I said it kind of exists and then didn't see it. So here's the point from back here, before I moved the knight out. Yeah, takes, push. That's what I missed. Then the knight moves and then we push. Yeah, so that's what I should have done. I should have traded at this point, but now, and it doesn't matter whether he takes here with the bishop or the knight. Yeah, if he takes with the knight here, d5, knight retreats, we go in. Yeah, he happened to take with the bishop, same issue. Okay, this is interesting now because we'd love to take one of these pieces, but we can't. Why? I hear you say, well, it's because our pawn is now frozen in a pin. So we can break the pin 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 5, 6 ways. Which means that this is still on and he's going to lose material. Okay? So what we want to do is we want to check that he can't move one of these pieces like with a check or something. Now I can stick my queen there. I can stick my bishop there as well. I'm inclined to put my bishop there. There's something telling me that queen is probably the computer move, but I'm trying to figure out why. Obviously taking either piece, it literally won't let me do it, you know, because I'll be putting myself in check. Okay, I'm going to put the bishop there. He takes here, he loses his knight anyway. I've got queen takes as well, but yeah. So I'm starting to oh, hello, all right. But now I can take here, right? So I've got my piece. And if you want to take that, happy days. But when you're down a piece, you shouldn't be in the business of trading off your only developed pieces at all. No. No, Master Wayne. And I'm also looking forward to ideas of short castles. And you're like, but Hunty, you've got no f-pawn. I'm like, I know, but I'm happy about that. Because now I've got ideas of like this. You know, if my rook's on f8, ooh, do you know what I mean? So we castle now. He's got two attackers on here, but again, remember, queen and knight both defend. You don't want to be doing this. No. But I would say this is -3. No, I'd say this is like -5 now, because we're actually up a piece for a pawn as well. But just positionally, we're so much better. We're castled. We've got a rook on a semi-open f-file. We've got a pawn in the centre. Everyone seems to be adequately defended, to my knowledge. And no, that was not right. Also, now this pawn now protects these squares, so we're kind of de-encouraging this knight from coming in. Can't go there, can't go there, can't go there. And that's just like, why would you go there? That just made White's situation way worse. Right? At this point, he has two bishops. Right? The difference in material is 2. Okay? But then he's still got 3 minor pieces. Right? So, we don't need to reiterate all of that. Okay, this is very tempting. Now, my light squared bishop would love to come to this square, but it's been prevented by h3. This is also an idea. This is preventing opponent from castles. But I kind of like this as well, because this is more pressing. And the reason it's more pressing is because I'm attacking a high value piece. I'm centralizing my knight. So just based on instinct and principles, right, and unless there's something completely dumb about this move, it seems to be a jolly good move for 2 reasons. I engage my rook. I hit the queen, so it's a forcing move. It's a tempo gaining move. I'm also attacking this knight. I'm not super interested. I mean, yeah, I can, you know, trading down's not a bad thing. This is the same pawn structure that I've got here. Put mine in a different colour. Which ain't too bad. Sometimes this pawn can be a weakness. But as it is, Hopefully white just isn't going to be able to catch his breath now from this point in time. My idea is to find threat after threat after threat. Also, oh, dude. See what else? Double pressure on F2. So I don't even need to do this to prevent castling. Because I can take that now with the knight, forks the rook and the queen. I'm not worried about any checkmate ideas, because this is me getting all like starting to improve at chess, you know, by looking at threats. And this is now resignable. Utterly resignable. Super utterly resignable. You take my knight, I trade off, king goes here. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. I think just this, right? The point is that I want to get Queenie involved in the game. Might even do this, because this pawn is a mega weakness. I'm guessing my opponent's name is Maurizio. So unlucky, mate. That was a tough one. That was a tough one. Yeah, and instructive. Should we do it again? Let's do it again. Oh no, shortage. Bradley 4874 plays the Van Croix. Okay, so we're going to play with principles. And oh, you did not just do that. You have not played the Wayward Queen against me. Right, now. Followers of the channel will know that knight c6 is the normal move. Right, the threat here is queen takes there with check. There is a gambito that you can actually play knight f6 and go, oh no, my pawn. But I can't remember it, and I'm not doing it because we're going to play principled. So already we have a strategy on the board. Move 2, boys and girls. What is the strategy? You all know it. We've got to harass the queen. Now, big mistake here is knight f6. And you go, oh no, I got checkmated. Right? I can play g6 and hit the queen. She will go back here. I can play my queen to here or my knight. Okay, queen goes back to here. Interesting he's played e3 here. That prevents the move knight d4. You know, more traditional is the move 1 e4, which would have maybe allowed that when the queen goes back there. So this is his idea. So that's maybe one to look out for. The fuck? Okay, how does this lose material for white? Well, notice the queen has stepped onto the diagonal of doom. So pawn d5, right? Unless I'm going quite mad. We attack the bishop and attack the queen at the same time. What? What did I miss? No, Sherlock, it's too easy. It's too easy. One of the best characters in television. Now, my friend Will didn't like Sherlock. And my friend Will just got a PhD in like poetry or something. But I think he's a fool if you don't like Sherlock. Okay, so anyway, Sherlock's great. I mean, I'll watch the whole thing once a year. Okay, so we're in a situation here. We're up an entire queen, right? So what we do is carry on as though nothing has happened. Okay? We play principled chess. We try to find the best moves. We do not try and spank our opponent and finish him off in 3 moves. Okay, we develop. Yes, 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 we try to exchange material off the board because it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's develop. Let's get castled. Let's trade off pawns and open lines. Again, you see our opponent's king is still in the centre of the board, and we've won ourselves a pawn. This rook has to go here, yes. Rooks are vulnerable until development have completed. Now, so I think my plan's gone awry there, because now the rook has a3. So I was thinking of this, and then this. No, not there, here. Hitting the rook, right? And if the rook goes there, bishop takes. If the rook goes here, rook takes. But that's now no longer on. So we must be flexible, children, to be able to change our plans and spin on a die. Okay, you're attacking my rook. Am I bothered? No, I'm not even bothered. Because, like we said before, when you're down that much material, you don't want to be trading down. You do not want to be trading. In fact, I could even have just taken there and threatened to win that rook. That would have been even better. But I'm playing in a cavalier attitude, which is very, very tempting when you are up a full queen. And now I'm plus 8 points. But I'm in a stronger position than I was when I was plus 9 points, because material have come off the board. And this is a check. King can't go there or there, or there. Knight blocks. We just take, because it's defended by the bishop. And this is what we call curtains. Okay, so in fact I just moved the rook and its mate, isn't it? Like here, yeah. Wow. There we go, that was another painful one. Good game. Go on one for the road. We're on 7-6-4. So it's slowing down now, so I've got 11 points for that game. Skorpiki from Vietnam. We've got e4, e5, as you can see on the board. Don't need me to tell you that. Oh, in the centre game, cool. Are we going to get us a Danish? No, we're going to get queen take. Okay. So obviously the natural move is knight c6 with tempo on the queen. Okay, so white has got himself a central pawn. Again, though, we've got this situation, right? Queen jumping out into the board very early. Not usually played, you know, as you get stronger, because we just now get into a game of kick the queen, if you can. So white has given himself a vulnerability. The queen may just retreat Scandi style. Okay, so the queen is now targeting g7, because the threat is this. Right? Do you see what I see? So, like, if my bishop goes there, I go, oh no, my pawn. Unless, however, the peen, put my tongue on the right way around, the queen has put herself into a pinnable situation. And that, guys, I mean, seriously, if Skorpiki is going to play this opening at 750, you don't put your queen on c3. I mean, you can literally just resign again. Jesus wept. Well, I'm not bored yet, are you? Yes, he was a good sport because he resigned at the right point, but fucking hell. Oh, look, we got the white pieces. Okay. JSAW095, where the hell's that? Uzbekistan. Hey, fantastic. Okay, we have us a Scandi. Right, so we're going to go into the Black Mar Gambit. And we may get ourselves a Black Mar Dima. And maybe a Von Poppeel. Now, I don't know a lot of theory on this, I have to say. Don't know a lot of theory. I know a handful of lines. This tends to be the most common move at intermediate level. What you're wanting is Bishop F5, right? Okay, it's interesting. So Bishop F5, because this pawn is attacked, so, you know, the threat is that you take out the knight and then win the pawn. Kind of Spanish style. Or Spaniard style. Right. Now, but he's done this. I have no memory of this place. Right, we have F3 with tempage. Takey, takey, bishop is hit. I mean, I can block with the knight or the bishop on E2. I can't block with either on that square because of the pawn. But this feels a little bit wishy-washy. Having said that, knight there, I can also always kick the bishop. And I can always fianchetto there. See, any time that this bishop is from home, like we saw in the last game, you know, with my pawn on G7, but he just blundered the game. I'm going to play my knight here. And then I'll tell you for why, because there's a couple of reasons. One is it's extra defense for Pawnio here. And also, although it apparently blocks the bishop, I'm quite content that I have a plan B for the bishop. G3, bishop G2, attack this pawn one more time. Hit me, baby, one more time. If you want me to stop singing, you make a $2 donation using the thanks button. Okay. Not good, Precious. Not good at all. Why not? Okay, so here's why not. The board, there are no blocked up pawns. Right? There are no pawns that are head to head and can't move. So it's an open position. And in an open position, bishops are preferable to knights. Opponent has just decided to trade one of his only two bishops for a knight that is not in a particular threatening position. This is not a strong knight. This is a very good bishop. It was actually pinning the knight onto the queen, right? And he's just traded it off. What's more, he's invested time in developing that bishop, and now he's disappeared it. Okay? So look, in this situation, after this move, white has two pieces developed, black has two pieces developed. Okay, now 2-2, right? But after I take back, I can take back with the bishop or the queen. I'm going to have three pieces developed and he's going to have one. And arithmetically, that's not great. So, now if I take with the queen, it does technically hang this pawn. I'm going to take with the bishop just to keep life simple. I may then, of course, short castle. That is a free pawn. If he wants to trade off queens, I take that with the rook. I still retain castling rights and happy days. Look. Right, now I'm one move away from completing development. An opponent is not. He's 1, 2, one of these pawns has to move, 3, and then 4 moves away from completing development. So I could here trade off my bishop for his knight, but I'm not actually up in material. But I would be actually after I win this pawn, which is the thought. But I'm not going to. I'm going to, I mean, that's also a thought, but then he kicks me, and then you have to have a plan for that, right? Come back. But my pawn guards this. I could just castle. Right, let's be principled and castle. I'm still thinking of this, because this pawn could be quite handy. Kick me, retreats, and then you don't get to kick me again, because I can capture, even if he plays b7 to b5 in one go, I capture en passant. Yeah. I've also got ideas of taking the knight. Whichever way he takes, I'm happy. We're opening up the king. I am also opening up his bishop, though, in the same act. Okay. This is interesting, yes. Quite right. Quite right. He's attacking 2 pawns at once, and I can't defend them both. Oh, no, I can't. That one's already defended. Therefore, I only have to defend this one. And I think the way to do it is rook d2. Then I can kick the knight out again and say, oi, horse, bugger off. Go on, sling your hook. Get out of it. Ha-ha. Right, now it's time to just cash in, I think. Okay, he's taken away from the centre. Now I'm going to kick the pony. He can't take there, he can't go there. You're right, if he goes here, bishop takes, pawn takes there. I've won a pawn, but more importantly, I've got both my rooks in the centre of the board. Now I can actually return to this idea, if I wish, or I can just snatch the pawn. Let's snatch the pawn. Oh, hello, hang on, hang on. Oh yeah, I defend this pawn. I'm just noticing that this one's hanging, right? This knight actually defends it. I might play b4. b4 and c4 gives me a very solid pawn structure on the queen side. Quite happy about that. And I think it's time to throw this in as well with check. Now, I'm only a pawn up at this point, but to my credit, I've got a king castled. All right. This is something you find a lot sub 1000. People just being too slow to castle. They get distracted by tactics, or just, you know, sloppy play causes them to have to play in a reactive way, and they can never like finish the job of completing development. I'm kind of inclined to catch here with a pawn, I think, because now I've got a super mega threat. Yes, he can castle. This is true. But look at me, I can do this now. Maybe this idea. He can't put another attacker on that pawn. I mean, the king can't go there. And if the king goes here, it can't be first to take. So, you know, and this rook is now well out of it. So I'm thinking about maybe something like this, with the idea of being able to play a check. I think this check will be handy, just to stop him once and for all from castling. Now, he should castle here. I'm convinced he should castle. He's got to get this rook into the game. He's really low on bits right now. Okay, I know I am as well, but my bits are more active than his bits. Oh. Fascinating. Now, notice we said the king can't take there. I could just drop the bishop back now. Maintain the pin on the knight. He can't bring his rook to... Well, yeah, I know you technically can. Do I play king f1? I want to do this, don't I? If I do there and king takes, I do have another check, maybe. I really want to build up these pawns into this connect 4. That's my dream. I have a dream. Okay. I'm just going to do this then. Secure the pawn forever. Play these moves. Not sure which order though. Alright, well that's kind of answered that question. f7 is undefended. Does JSAW 095 notice? That would defend it. I might have a4 as... What's that? What the hell is there? Okay, free stuff. Now we're 2 pawns up. Our list of allies grows thin. Before this, and he takes, I take back with a bishop. But this is, I mean, putting his king in front of that pawn is really tricky. Because the king can't go to either of these squares and can't take there. He wants to go here, but my bishop actually guards that square. Do I play b4 now with tempo? Either of these 2 squares I can take with bishop or maybe pawn. Okay, now I think I take with the bishop. Because what that does is it splits up his pawns. And now these pawns cannot be defended by another pawn. Right, he has 3 pawn islands. So now I think I just come after this pawn, don't I? He might be thinking about this, but that doesn't really help him. Yeah, it kind of does. Okay, now I can come after this pawn. How does he defend it? He doesn't. Well, he's got that. No, he has. He has got one option. Okay. Check takes checkmate. Got to be a bit careful. Little bit careful here. Now king f1. Check takes... Yeah, king f1 I think is the way. Let's keep these pawns there for now. Don't need Luft yet. Here, I can always take... Oh, okay. Right, he's found a move. But here again. And how do you defend? Check takes, that's fine. He loses a rook. We're going to take this pawn. That guy's still defended because we doubled up our rooks. Over defending. Often a good idea. Right, we take. If he takes, we take back with pawn. But we also have this move as well. If we play this move, these are all the squares to which the king cannot go, right? So the king has to go there or there. Then I can actually win this pawn. But I might as well just get this guy on the way past. We're now up 3 pawns. Okay, check. He has to go here or here. I'm up 3 pawns. I'm not worried about Barry. Sorry, Barry. Your time here is done. There's only 2 legal moves here. This one, I'd be tempted to... Oh, that actually wins a rook. Yeah, okay. So... I mean, can I do that? Is that stupid? I attack the rook, okay. If he takes my rook, I take his and make a queen. So that's not possible. All right, what if I go here? Okay, think this through with me. I go here. If king takes, I push the pawn. King goes back here, I take... He takes. I've just lost my pawn. I can just play c3, actually, and just defend that pawn and keep the pressure on. Let's do that. That gives him time to save the g-pawn, but I am up 3 pawns. Right, he's got 3 on the king side, as do I. Right, but I have 3 unopposed on the other side of the board. So this is our big advantage. Now this is winning, right? Make no mistake. He should have saved, he's just not thinking about saving his material. So this is check. There's only 2 legal moves, takes or king here. If king here, I take the rook. He takes back. There, if he takes, I push. King goes back here, I take the rook, he takes back. Not necessary. Let's grab the free pawn and split these two guys. This pawn's defended. So if I win this game, that takes us up to 790. There's only two legal moves. There and here. I just push the pawn. There, queen. Yeah, here he has to do that, or that. He can't block with the rook because I take with the pawn and make a queen. That is check. King can take the pawn though. So I think we just take here, right? Okay, now he has this, but I've got king e2. So I think I've got time to play c4, c5. If I go here, then king takes the pawn. I'm going to play c4. I'm up 4 pawns now. And if he takes here, that's the end of the game. Because he cannot withstand. 3 against 2 here is practically winning. But to have 2 connected passes on the other side of the board. Right, let's see how we can convert this. Okay, so first of all, activate the king. Plan A is to shepherd these guys. Now, good thing about having these pawns side by side is they cover all of these squares. So that king cannot penetrate through this force field here. Okay, so now I'm going to block these guys off. And I'm going to use Barry and Charlie here as a decoy while my king is going to come over and nobble these pawns, and then probably Harry is going to become the queen. Right, this is utterly resignable now. Here I'm going to... There we go. Oh, he's abandoned. All right, let's have a quick look at the game review on that one. 75 accuracy at 700. Dude, he played 1200 level. I thought it was, it was reasonable. Okay, happy about that one. Yeah, and you see, inaccurate. Computer says take with the queen. Which I think is fine. It does hang this pawn, which would have been spicy. We're preparing to long castle there. It's all good. That's not good. Okay, bishop there with check. And again, look, so we're already, although material here is equal, it's plus 1.5 in white's favour. Why? Because we're ready to castle. We've got 1, 2, 3 pieces developed, right? Do not go trading your developed pieces for no good reason. Okay. It says trade off first. Now we trade. And now it says, no, you shouldn't have done that, should have done that. Okay. Right, shoving the knight down his throat. Absolutely. He takes. Should have taken with a rook, but yeah, as it is, that pawn became quite the menace, didn't it? Ah, the knight is pinned. Hang on, so rook here. King has to go there, yes? Yeah, that's forced. Oh, rook c7 check, that's forced. Bishop takes c6, bc. Okay, well, pretty much every road leads to Rome at that point anyway. But I think the key thing to me in this game was this trade-off, right? Just right. if you're sub 1,000, stop that shit. Okay? You've got a pin on a knight. That is an asset. Okay? Keep it. Make your opponent weaken his position slightly with a move like h3. Okay? So here, the best move is h6 for black, according to the engine. Black is actually slightly better. Knight bd7 is a move. Okay? Or c6, which is a bit curious. c6 prevents this knight from coming in. Okay? But best move here, kick the bishop. Put the question, if bishop takes, e takes, right? Black is fine. But don't go trading off a piece that you've like this is his best piece, right? It's in your opponent's side of the board. Don't freak out and start trading things off just because it's like, you know? Your opponent should be afraid that your pieces are in their side of the board, not you. So cut that shit out. And I think that's probably, you know, the lesson of the game. So we'll leave it there. It's been a good run. Let's have a quick look at our profile. Yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Got to, you know, nice steady results coming through. So we shall leave it there for today. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Hope you've learnt one or two things. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.